Hello, I'm Peter Whittle. Now this week, the treacherous bunch, which passes for the British government, finally agreed to a national inquiry into the Pakistani rape gangs, despite having resisted and prevaricated for years. The reason for the U-turn was the imminent publication of a report by Dame Louise Casey, which explicitly detailed the extent of the cover-up and the all-important ethnic dimension. The attempts to suppress the extent and nature of this scandal and the demonization of anyone highlighting it as racist had continued even after Elon Musk's interventions earlier this year. The world now knows of what must be this country's biggest racially aggravated crime. These girls were chosen because they were white by men who considered them subhuman. The nationwide, systematic rape, torture and abuse of thousands upon thousands of white working-class girls by Pakistani Muslim gangs has blown apart the pieties and dogmas of multiculturalism in Britain. From police to social services, from parliament to the media, these shocking crimes were covered up largely to keep the multicultural narrative in place. As one former Labour MP of Rochdale put it, quote, "There was the feeling that we shouldn't rock the multicultural boat." Another Labour MP more crudely agreed with the tweet that the victims should, quote, "shut their mouths for the sake of diversity." The enormity of the rape gangs issue is such that I believe it must force a complete reassessment of recent British history. The need to enforce the official narrative that multiculturalism and mass migration are wholly beneficial to our society has shaped our public policy and politics for the whole of this century so far. It has transformed our physical, cultural and political landscape. What we are left with now is a situation which calls into question the very legitimacy of our democracy and the British state. This is not simply some question of transparency or local authority corruption, much less of good intentions going bad. Little that's been said by the commentariat this past week has shown an appreciation of quite what all of this means. What we have seen is collusion by all parts of the state in the industrial-scale rape of the nation's children. The establishment simply must not be allowed to recover from this. How do we ensure then that they don't? Well, we must from now on make this inquiry the focus of our attention. We must follow it and scrutinise it through every twist and turn. We must ensure that anyone who covered up or failed to act or subverted the law, police, local councillors, public services, is prosecuted and put behind bars. The inquiry must encompass all aspects of the state. No MP, no minister, no civil servant should be exempt. It must investigate fully not just the ethnic component but the religious aspect to the years of abuse. It should not be allowed to rely on our fading interest as so many inquiries do. We must make it our political priority. Alongside this, we must continue to highlight and oppose the government's intention to introduce a new definition of Islamophobia, one which threatens to further restrict our already constricted freedom of speech. I've highlighted this all-parliamentary party group definition on a number of occasions in the past, but will spell it out again now. So it goes. Islamophobia is rooted in racism and is a type of racism which targets expressions of Muslimness or perceived Muslimness. Now, this definition will effectively outlaw all criticism of Islam. Had this law been in place earlier, it is unlikely this whole scandal could have been reported even to the extent that it has been. So what now? Well, indifference is no longer an option. It is up to me, you, and every British citizen to make a choice about what takes priority, avoiding hurt feelings and inconvenient truths, or stopping the mass gang rape and torture of our children. I know where I stand. Thank you.